The 10th and most recent woman to make the FBI's most wanted list is Shanika S. What she did was ruthless. It was gruesome. The FBI called it a senseless crime. Shanika let her excessive and misplaced rage get out of control. In the end, it would cause her to barge into her neighbor's house and murder her in cold blood, killing not only the woman, but her unborn child as well. Hate, execution killing, and a dead baby. That's coming up on Ladies Love Crime. Shanika S. was 24 years old. She was a newspaper delivery woman, but soon she would become an infamous killer. It all began in 2016. Shanika's mother had mentioned to her that the downstairs neighbor had been playing music at unreasonable hours. Shanika decided to take matters into her own hands and confront the girl. The downstairs neighbor was a girl named Tamika. She was 23 years old, nearly 9 months pregnant, had 2 kids, and was living with her boyfriend. Both Tamika and Shanika had known each other since the 8th grade, went to school together, and was described by others as friends. The argument about the loud music seemed to pass, but Shanika's mother said her daughter felt that Tamika had disrespected her. However, Shanika wasn't close to being finished. About a week later, she confronted Tamika again. She started a fight on the sidewalk. This time, she was carrying a gun. Shanika's mother tried to de-escalate the situation by stepping in between them. Once again, it seemed to be over, but no one could foresee what was going to happen next. Just a few hours later at 3 a.m., Shanika drove back to Tamika's place to confront her for a third time. Shanika then called her mother to let her know she was there. Her mother asked her to leave, but Shanika stayed. Her mother then went downstairs to try and stop her daughter from getting inside Tamika's unit. Again, she found herself standing between Shanika and Tamika. The fight raged in the hallway. Shanika's mother tried pushing her daughter away from Tamika, but had no luck. Then suddenly, Shanika pulled out a gun, reached over her mother's shoulder. Tamika's 2 children started to run towards their mother before her boyfriend grabbed them. Shanika then fired the gun right into Tamika's chest. She stumbled back into her home before collapsing, dying right in front of her children. Tamika's baby, who was due in just 5 days, also died. Shanika then fled the scene before police arrived. FBI Special Agent Chad Piantek, who led the investigation, summed up Shanika's motive as best he could, saying, "Apparently, Minor believed that the victim had somehow disrespected her or her mother. It is a fairly violent neighborhood. Unfortunately, there is sometimes a street mentality about solving problems." Shanika went from the newspaper delivery woman to fugitive overnight. The FBI believed she might be in the South since she had connections there. Special Agent Chad Piantek suggested people were likely helping her evade authorities, saying, "There's no record she had any reliable employment. I don't think she has a lot of resources on her own. Clearly, people have assisted her." Tamika's mother was overcome with grief for her daughter. In an interview with a local news station, she begged her daughter's killer to come forward, saying, "Wherever you at, Shanika, I would appreciate it if you would come. I don't want you to get hurt. I just want you to come forward. I just want her caught so I can rest. I don't sleep. I don't eat. I really want to know the reason why she would pull a gun out and do what she did to my daughter." The FBI offered a $100,000 reward for Shanika and warned the public to be careful, as she was believed to be armed and dangerous. After 4 months on the run, they finally placed Shanika on their most wanted list. 2 days later, the FBI got the call they had been waiting for all spring. An FBI worker called 911 to tell dispatchers that Shanika was in North Carolina. The following audio features the altered voice of that 911 call.
She said that she's been down there with her for 2 weeks. They were going, and then now they're going to leave to go to a beach trip or something along those lines. But said that she had no clue that she was in the top 10 wanted from the FBI until she happened to see on Facebook.
The tip was right. Shanika was found in a hotel room in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Shanika initially pled not guilty, but eventually she caved and did plead guilty to 2 counts of first-degree reckless homicide. In court, before her sentencing, Shanika conjured up some remorse, saying, "I want to apologize to her family, even if they don't choose to accept my apology." The family of the girl she killed also made statements. First was her aunt.
Your Honor, it's been a rough year and a half for Tanika, Mom. You can't even imagine what we've been going through, the late night phone calls, just trying to keep her head up, the question the kids are asking now, it's been rough. All I'm asking is that you do what's fair for her. She lost 2 kids. And had this stuff not happened, she would have her kids. So I ask that you do what's fair for her children, because that's most important. They don't have a mom anymore.
Next, her grandmother.
I would like to say that I want to ask her, why would she kill my granddaughter and my great-grandbaby? For no reason. I want her to say, tell me, why did she kill her? My granddaughter had never bothered nobody. My granddaughter had a good education and everything. And I want to know, why did she kill my granddaughter and my great-grandbaby? That's what I want her to tell me. Why did she kill my grandbaby and my granddaughter? And she needs to I want her to have life. I don't have my granddaughter and my great-grandbaby. And she needs to get life.
Finally, her mother addressed the judge.
It's so hard for me, but I'm trying to stand strong. And I want the max for this young lady because it was so understandable. It ain't no reason for this to happen. I mean, I want her to go. She deserves it. If I deserved all this ache and pain, she deserved it. I really would take life, but I would take 80. No less. She gotta go. She deserved it, Your Honor. She left me with all this pain. I would never heal, and then she sent me through all this stuff for a whole year and 6 months, and she knew she was wrong. She ran for 4 months and still prolonged in this case for a year and 6 months. I'm tired. I'm tired. She needs to just leave so I can at least rest, or my kids can rest. Okay, that's all I ask. That's all I ask, because if she get out, she gonna do it again to somebody else's child, because she carry guns.
The judge sentenced Shanika to 30 years in prison and 10 years supervision for each murder. Each sentence would be served concurrently. While she was still grieving, another tragedy struck. Just 3 weeks after Tamika was murdered, her son was too. He was shot and killed during an argument after a minor car crash. Not only were both of her children dead, but she now had 5 grandchildren to raise. So what's the takeaway here? Well, Tamika wasn't really doing anything wrong. She was in her own home. She wasn't causing a problem. Obviously, Shanika was out of line, incensed, enraged, and a complete psycho. But if you find yourself in a situation similar to this, do your best not to escalate it. Don't answer the door. Don't talk to these people. Don't join in the fight. Shanika had already showed up at her home hours before waving a gun around, so she'd already lost her mind. At that point, the best thing you can do if you're the victim, if you're on the receiving end, is just get the heck out of Dodge.